Hello everyone, Mr. Bean 35000 VR here, and today I'm bringing you something a little bit interesting. I have found, hidden away in the game's code, remnants of a mission mode that was originally intended to be used in Mario Kart Wii. It's very similar to the one that was in Mario Kart DS. Now, how I came across this was I was researching screen transitions, and I was just on the single player menu. It was kind of a coincidence really, and I just happened to notice that there seemed to be 5 links away from this screen. That is to say, 5 of these buttons. Now, as you can see right here, we've only got 4 buttons. You've got Grand Prix, Time Trials, VS Race and Battle, and then there was this mysterious other entry in the table. Now, after some considerable effort, I managed to get this hidden screen to load, and, well, this is what it looks like. So, we get this interesting screen filled with 8 buttons on the over here. They're just all arranged on the left. It looks kind of weird. And if you pick one of these, you get 8 more buttons on the right. You pick one of these, you get taken to this screen here, and then you're asked to pick a drift type, and then you're asked to start playing the game. So that's all very interesting. I wasn't quite sure what to make of this when I first saw it. And as you can see, there's no text anywhere on here. Now, I did some investigation as to why that was. The game is actually trying to draw text right now. It's just that the text has all been erased from the game disc, so it can't. So I actually made a little cheat code that allows us to see where the text would have been. So I'm going to go and switch that on right now, so we can get a look at what this menu was kind of more meant to look like. Okay, so as you can see here, with the code applied, all this code is doing, it's very simple, is since the text doesn't exist, I'm simply drawing to the screen the text IDs that it's trying to load. Like 3700 is the top left, etc. And this reveals that this first screen is not as obscure as you might have thought. It's not just 8 buttons running down the left-hand side. It's supposed to have 8 pieces of text running down the right as well. And it's meant to be a clean transition like so. And what I fully suspect that this is kind of like the... If you've ever played Mario Kart DS's mission mode, what you had to do was select a level and then a sub-level. And I think that's what's going on here. You would pick the level from this list, and then you would pick the sub-level, and then you would get some more options. Now, this is an interesting screen that sometimes has 2 options. If this second option, for whatever reason, does this. I can't tell you what this is. I have no idea what this would have been used for. It's possibly not meant to be a still image, but a video, and it's supposed to be showing you, like, how to play or something? I have no idea. But this next button is unlabeled. It doesn't even try to draw a label to this one. This isn't a mistake on my code's part. It's not even trying to draw a label, so that shows you how complete these menus are. But it's clearly meant to be some sort of start button, because when you click it, you're taken to the drift selection screen. But interestingly, on certain buttons, you aren't actually allowed to specify what drift you want to be using. For instance, right now, this level 1-1 only allows you to select manual mode drift. And I believe it is level 1-2 that only allows you to select automatic drift. But as you saw earlier on, there are some levels that just offer you free choice to pick whatever drift you want to use. So that's all interesting. Unfortunately, this little drift restriction is the only thing that still exists of the mission mode that Mario Kart Wii was supposed to have. The data for the missions themselves has been completely stripped from the game. In fact, it took considerable effort to get through all of these menus, because originally, when you clicked this button here, the game would crash. And the reason that it would crash is because it's trying to get a hold of a table of mission parameters, basically. It's trying to set up the mission. This table is 0x70 bytes long. I'm sorry, I don't know what that is in decimal. But it contained things like what character you were restricted to, what kart you were restricted to, what stage was going to be loaded, what file on the disk would complement the file, because when the game actually tries to load it, looks in the folder called Mission Run, hint hint, looking for some files based on the parameters supplied in this table data. And then it specifies a few other things like the game mode. Are you collecting coins? Are you doing drifts? Stuff like that. This table, unfortunately, is gone. It's not on the disk. As far as I know, it's not on the disk anywhere. Well, if anyone can find me a file matching this description, it would likely have been in menu single or perhaps common. It would have been a file containing a 16-byte header, that's decimal, and then 64 decimal, OX70 hexadecimal, length entries. If such a file exists, it's probably meant to be used here. So please let me know if anyone finds that. But without that, all we've got left of Nintendo's mission data, as I stated before, is simply the drift restrictions. And also, I will show you this right now. I've actually gone through and clicked every single button to see which ones have a drift restriction and which ones have a picture, and you can see that on your screen now. And if you're looking at this, you can see that they only actually have restrictions all the way up to level 2-4. So I'm guessing that's about the point when they decided that they weren't going to be going through with the mission mode and instead moved on to tournaments and competitions. And this whole thing was removed and lost to the ages. So after some effort, and this did take a while, I was able to recreate a table entry for this mode. Or I've recreated several at this point. But while that file that I mentioned, the table that I mentioned, doesn't exist anywhere, fortunately the routine that loads it still does, and it's kind of nice because it indicates how long the fields are supposed to be and stuff like that. And so with a bunch of pushing buttons, I was eventually able to get something that was coherent, and I was able to look around at some of the modes that would have been offered by mission mode, and I will now take you on a little bit of a tour. So let me go through those with you now. So this first one I have here is clearly a Mario Kart DS leftover. In this one, the aim of the game is to drift a lot. Every time you successfully do a drift, you get a point, and the aim, well in this little example one that I put together, would be to drift 10 times before the time runs out. Easy enough. In this one, the aim of the game is to murder enemies. These can be Goombas, Monty Moles, and some other things. But that's kind of tricky to do if you're not constantly getting shells, like I'm not in this, because it's not set up properly, but oh well. Then we have this mode, which is specifically designed to work with the spiky topman of Galaxy Arena, as far as I can tell. So maybe these guys were meant to be in mission mode instead of in tourney mode, which makes sense. And then there's this one, which is another Mario Kart DS leftover, where you're aiming to break item boxes within the tournament. In Mario Kart DS, the 31 challenges where you'd have to chase item boxes around. So I can only imagine they were planning to do exactly the same thing here. And then we have this kind of amusing mode, which is the only... Well, it's one of the few Mario Kart Wii exclusive modes that gives you points every time you do a wheelie, but it kind of does it far too fast. So something tells me that this wasn't quite finished, because it's quite ridiculous. As you can see here, you can also get points by wheeling on the spot, which is kind of dumb. Now also, there is no penalty for losing whatsoever. If the time runs out and you haven't fulfilled your objective, that's okay. Luigi's perfectly fine with this. But that's all I have to show in terms of modes for the time being, because I need to do some more file alteration. But here is proof without a doubt that it's mission mode. This button right here, the only surviving piece of text relating to mission mode. Choose a mission. This button causes a soft lock menu. And that's all I have to show for the time being. I'll be continuing my research into mission mode and looking for more things. I probably need to do some file edits before I can get anywhere else, but I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you found this interesting. And thank you very much for watching.